All right. So basically, if you want to understand anything that the Rain Rider was saying, you want to understand that he was saying stay away from carbon because, like carbon in your bike, because carbon would weigh you down. Carbon would make your. Um, he was either saying it was more expensive or it was heavier. I think he was trying to say that it was more expensive, meaning like less expansive, and basically just like a market. It has like a good market price, but it doesn't really have any value because carbon is really not what you want. Because the way the science will take you is it'll say that you'll turn your body basically from carbon. Because even though carbon, so I think Dwayne Ryder was explaining, stay away from the carbon because it breaks very easily. Like I want to say, like it's very like thin metal, but it's like still like a heavy metal. So if you can follow me that far, basically the carbon would snap easily. He was saying the carbon on bikes and everything would snap easily because of how light it was. You know what I'm saying? It was like so light. Um, but it was basically like the best. I mean, if you'd have to get like very expensive carbon, presumably, to have it like last a long time. But I remember he was explaining how it like breaks a lot. It like snaps easily. So you got to kind of look at it like one way or the other, because if anything is coming from the sky, like if they really are manipulating chemtrails and everything and things of that nature, then it's most likely going to be these like heavy metals that are really ultimately light and like weight and everything, but they're just a product that is being manufactured to slow our bodies down. So you're really taking the other part of the equation out, like where you want to be like elusive and lucid and everything. So basically these these heavy metals that they're doing. I mean, look at carbon as like a heavy metal. But I mean, why do you think they call carbohydrates carbohydrates? I mean, they weren't always called carbohydrates. Like fruits and vegetables weren't always called fruits and veg. I mean, fucking carbohydrates are called fruits and vegetables, and now they're called carbohydrates. And now there's a paleo diet, and a ketogenic diet, and a vegan diet, and you can be breatharian. You can starve yourself. You don't even have to be anorexic. You can just be breatharian, or like a reincarnation of Gandhi or something. I mean, is that real? So what you're missing though, you're missing the key component. And the key component is crystalline. I don't know how to really say it, but crystalline. It'd be like crystalline, because the whole thing with I know this is gonna be like hard to understand or like hard to follow, but just like tread water with me, because it's serious. Um, the whole thing with like the acidic thing, like that whole thing, it was to bring people awareness. Like, it's not to say that there's good people or bad people out there, or like good and evil out there, but just look at it as like a lot of awareness. Because basically you had people telling you about acidity in food. So you learn that, okay, I can eat a pineapple and I'm getting like good carbohydrates, but I'm still getting acid for some reason. And I mean, mind you, if you know anything about bulimia, that has to do with like a lot of acids from the stomach coming up, and that stuff can actually do a lot of damage to your esophagus and trachea, or basically all the components that make up your throat and everything. So you just gotta be mindful of a lot of things. So the whole acid or the acidic to alkaline thing was basically just a preliminary stage to where you actually want to be, which is going from carbon to crystalline. And that's carbon to crystalline, not like, you know, anything crazy. It's just crystalline, but it's just another dimension of where you want to basically take your exercise. Because a lot of people are saying, well, you gotta have chi, or you gotta have cardio. I mean, what do you really want more, like, during, I guess you could say, like, what do you really want more during, like, I guess you could say, like, martial law, or, like, I mean, call it what it is, man. Like, World War III is just basically a war on your genetics, you know, and you got, like, the chemtrails and the fracking and everything, or fracking. It's not fracking, but it's fracking. So